Hello and welcome to the last team preview for MSI. We're covering LYON, the first seed from the LCS. This team I have ranked 6th in the world. Keep in mind that has a lot to do with the fact that they've been to 2 international events. Them and Team Secret Wales rank that high because of that. As things kind of go throughout the season, I expect LYON to drop a little bit unless the LCS is on par with the best of the best at an international event. Then these stats won't tank. The thing is, these stats down here, you can win as many games as you want domestically, but if they go and flame out and win 2 of 10 games or whatever, I guess not 2 of 10, but 2 of 8 games, maybe lose 3-1 in both series or something at this event, that's going to affect these stats in a negative way and drop them from 6th to wherever else they're going to end up. But regardless, on paper, this team has solid players that perform internationally, and have potential to be competitive. Last first stand, so last international event, they finished 5th, 6th. They took JDG to 5 games. They should have won that series on paper. Statistically, they had the lead for the majority of the series in minutes played, but couldn't get the job done. So there is that to think about. Dokla in top lane, I'm not including Castle because he barely played, which was a surprise. I thought they would use the 6-man roster more. They may at this event, but it's not enough for me to talk about beyond that. So Dokla, 28 years old. Really, talk about a late bloomer in terms of international events. Really wasn't prominent. I don't think he was really at an international event until a couple of years ago, and now it's going to be another one under his belt. 2.8 KDA, 55 KP, 8.1 CS per minute. Now, what's interesting is I would consider him more of a weak side top laner at his best. Not necessarily a carry oriented top laner, but he has a 164 ROI and a 3.9 share differential. He does deal a good amount of damage. He's the most efficient damage dealer on the team as far as damage divided by gold is concerned. Now, his share differential is nearly 4%, and that is because of this for Inspired, and we'll talk about it in a minute. But Dokla gives the team a lot of impact in terms of damage. Vision 2.9, behind about 300 gold and 225 XP at 15 minutes, which is not good. If you're losing lane in the LCS like that, it really worries me when you go to an international event. Like, good fucking luck. If you're getting smoked by Impact, Castle, Thanatos, and Fudge, etc., I really find it hard to believe that you're going to do well in Dabin, Zeus, Doran, even you're looking at BB, etc. Like, your hands are going to be full. So that is problematic. Has a solo kill every 3 games, so that's another thing. Gets a lot of solo kills, but still is behind a significant amount of gold. 1 new champion every 3 games or better, though. That is very strong for a player that's played the entirety of the season thus far. A wide champion pool. Rumble, Kesante, Nar account for 44% of his games played, though. So, majority of his games are on these 3 champions relative to everything else, but the others, I think he's played 20 champions this year. The other 17 are across 56% of the game. So when these 3 champs are out, it's hard to pin down what Dokla is going to really play. 57% win rate on his 3 most played, which is below the team average for win rate. Internationally, he's 9-6, 1.3 KDA, 49 KP, 8.1 CS per minute, 146 ROI, behind 250 gold at 15 minutes, which, all things considered, could be a lot worse. Not great, very bad, but could be worse. And 1 solo kill every 3 games still. The star of the team, Inspired in the jungle, you obviously hear him in comms, etc., but Inspired, even when he was with Rogue, was a player that I thought was very talented. Now, the thing is with him, he is unique. He is an enigma when it comes to stats. Now, I can handle that and work through the stats and understand what's going on here with Inspired and why he is still as good as he is when his stats are the way they are. So 47 KDA, 67 KP, 760 CS per minute. What's weird is the 67 KP. I will say that. This team, I want to say the gap between the support and the next highest kill participation might be higher than anybody else at this event, 6%. So Inspired's present for 2 out of every 3 kills. The team's definitely fighting with him being present, but not quite as much as others. High farm, 7.6, which is actually fourth in the... I mean, 7.6 doesn't necessarily mean fourth, but the CS differential for this team, fourth in the world in the jungle. 0.95 ROI, negative 6.3 share differential. That means 2 things. One, this is affecting that. That's a high CS per minute. That's going to lower the damage divided by gold in damage share minus gold share stats. Also, Inspired can carry, however, takes on more of a facilitator playmaker role than your average jungler, in my opinion. And that results in stats where they are obviously a solid shot caller, very active. And with that in mind, I mean, these numbers are fine by me, but he is a very unique player. He does not deal a lot of damage. He does not play champions over, you look at the 70 games, he's not dealing a ton of damage. And that's unique out of everybody at this event. And frankly, in the world, that's one of the lowest ROIs out of anybody, even with the high farm. Vision's very good, 5.6. Knows where to place wards and get value out of them, which is very, very good. Up 90 gold, 366 XP, which is huge. 1 solo kill every 8 games, 1 new champion every 4 games. Wukong's in Zhao Vai, 42% of the games for 60% win rate, which is actually below the team average. Internationally, he's 44 and 60. 2.6 KDA, 72 KP, 6.4 CS per minute. 102 ROI, up 77 gold, 1 solo kill every 7 games or so. So he's a solid player, is ahead at 15 minutes internationally, which is a good mark for a Western player. In mid lane, you have Saint, 21 years old, a player that I would say is like, if Quid is a 10, Saint's like a 9.5 in terms of ability. But Saint shows up more than Quid does. He's more consistent, at least in my opinion. 3.6 KDA, 63 KP, 9.3 CS per minute. So only involved in about 3 out of every 5 kills. Team fights all over the place. 153 ROI, 2.8 share differential. Does not deal a lot of damage, though. We need more aggression out of Saint, especially at this event. Vision's good, 3.85. Up 125 gold, 77 XP. 1 solo kill every 4 games. 1 new champion every 4 games. Ari Rise Akali. 31% of his games. So in a best of 3, theoretically, he might not play any of his 3 most played, which some players, it's literally flip a coin and they're going to play one of them every game. And then you have a case where he has a 68% win rate on his 3 most played, which is 6% higher than the team's win rate. So very good on the champions that he plays most. Internationally, he is 4 and 8. First stand was his only opportunity. 1.3 KDA, 63 KP, 9 CS per minute, 168 ROI, and actually had 142 gold. So he did well in the laning phase. Had 3 solo kills in 12 games as well. Let's see if he's grown from first stand to MSI and taken another step forward on the international stage. That's really the marker here. Is he better than he was at first stand? He does not have to dominate, but is he improved? Berserker, 23 years old. Now, he's unique as well. And it's not included on here. We'll talk about it when I do my 80 carry video in more depth. But 5 KDA, 66 KP, 10.2 CS per minute, 163 ROI, 5.1 share differential. He has plus 30% damage share, which is going to be unique at this event. That is truly like everything's going through Berserker. He is the carry on the team, undoubtedly so, in terms of damage. So, many teams, there's different angles that they can take. You have teams with multiple players above 25%, and frankly, this team might still have, Saint or Dokla above 25%, but 30%, that's very high. I don't think you're going to see many teams with that going on at this event over the entirety of the season. Berserker is very much the person dealing the damage. 283 vision efficiency, up 379 gold, 395, 520. Minus 200. I mean, the team's only up 300 gold at 15 minutes, though, which is concerning. Very slow early game, which is a problem. It's an LCS problem. The only reason this team does better than TL is because it's better than TL on paper, and the players are better. But the way in which they go about the game is also slow and steady, and it's not a great thing. XP 217 ahead, one solo kill every 8 games, one new champion every 4 games. Yunara, Ezreal, Lucian, 39% of his games for a 57% win rate. So out of his 3 most played, the team's actually down 5% in win rate. Now, internationally, Berserker's 10 and 24, and like I just said, is a big damage share player. But I've always said this about Berserker. Internationally, he leaves a lot to be desired. I need him to show up in a big way, and he just really doesn't do that for me internationally. 2 KDA, 56 KP, 97 CS per minute, 133 ROI. Does not deal a lot of damage. And that's a problem. Just talked about how he deals a ton of damage, right, domestically. And that's been the case pretty much his whole career. Internationally, doesn't do that. That's a problem. Laning, relatively even, one solo kill every 9 games. Isles, 25 years old, 4-7 KDA, and then leads the team in KP, like I said, 73%. He is who makes plays on this team more than anyone else. 3 out of every 4 kills. 79 ROI. That's important because he leads in KP. You'd think his damage would be higher just by being present for the kills, but it's not necessarily the case. His champion pool kind of leans more traditional than damage heavy. Vision could be better, only 2. That's average at best in this current situation. You need better vision out of your support. Even at 15 minutes, one new champion every 4 games. Lulu, Nautilus, and Bard account for 38% of his games and a 68% win rate. So when he does get those 3 champions, he does do better. Internationally, 7 and 13. KDA is whatever, 1.2, 69 KP. ROI is pretty low. Like I said, he does lean traditional. Vision, 1.91, even at 15 minutes. Now, how this team ends up 6th statistically. Like I said, a big part of it is because of first stand, but also win rate, 10th in the world at 62%. KD, 1.24, which is 9th. Gold spent differential, 2.6, which is 12th. A problem, this team's Drake priority, 51%. That's 21st in the world. They do not really take Drake relative to everyone else at this event. Their priority is definitely not there. Baron, 11th in the world at 57%. Early game, or not even early game, just lane CS differential is 0.1%, which is 21st in the world. They are average in terms of opening up leads in terms of laning CS. Jungle CS, though, 4th in the world, which makes sense. And Spurs put up 7.6 CS per minute. Reignover, internationally, best of 1s, 0-2. Best of 3s, 0-1. And then best of 5s, 1-2. So we'll see how this team does. Like I said, I have my reservations because they play so slow. You cannot play slow. That's how JDG kind of beat them, because this mid to late game, you get there, good luck. When you going into the mid to late game, even as a Western team against an LCK and LPL team, that's not a 50-50. It can be 50-50 in gold, it can be 50-50 in kills, it can be 50-50 in objectives. Everything can be fucking even. I am taking the Eastern team 10 out of 10 times. So, there are going to be exceptions. There are great teams that have been exceptions, but let's be real about probabilities here. So, yeah, so they gotta speed it up. They got to get after it in the early game and find out how to make some plays here and get ahead. So thank you for watching. If you like the video, like it, subscribe to the channel for daily League of Legends content. Follow me on Twitter, join the Discord, become a YouTube supporter, and hope to see you again tomorrow.